Andy Gallagher here with a rundown, as I usually do, of the Wealthy Fantasy Football blog and Discord inside. And what I've done here, showed you the results from yesterday. This did pretty well in a bunch of head-to-heads. $1 pitchers Koo and Gagnon to lead it off there. When you look at my projections from yesterday, this is what I had up on the wealthyfantasyfootball.com under the KBO header on the top of the page. Koo and Gagnon, and my third guy in listed in order. The only thing I didn't really reveal here was whether which guys were to be used preferably for cash and which for tournaments. So Rayleigh was the guy, as he turned out to be the second highest scoring. So he has some risk, but usable very much so. So this page here showing the results from yesterday, from the morning of the 12th. So also just want to kind of be a little bit here relaxed on a Friday afternoon. Here we are, and to get you on track as well for it'll be the 1 a.m. / 4 p.m. To start slate times for the early morning hours. We morning there about 3:30 a.m. unless you're staying up that late. So that's pretty much how we'll do it and roll with it here for preparing throughout the evening here and the night. So there's a lot of more to update. This is what it looked like as of now. These are base projections, meaning I will put in here, I added in actually the average innings pitched over the last 4 games I chose. For example, Wu Chan Che for LG starting pitcher. We're looking at 5.5 innings from him on average. He's 8.7K in DraftKings, projected at 21.6. So this projection, for example, does not include the matchup. That does not include, of course, whether he's likely to get a win, and does not even really include how he's doing in terms of allowing base runners, guys left on base, his ground ball percentage, his FIP, things like that. That I'll also take a look at. Ks per 9, strikeout rate, all those different stats to kind of see, whether I'm going to bring that projection up or down. So you just have to check back and look there and see, and that'll be done late night tonight, I'm sure, by about the 11 p.m. hour or so. This will all be updated there with rankings, numbers 1 through 10, for the starting pitchers. And I want to backtrack just a bit at this lineup here as I look at, last night there was a lot of rain going on and so forth. I did stick with one that I originally put out there on a Discord channel from the night before. This was the lineup right here I put out there on the Wealthy Fantasy Football Discord chat. You just get on the website and click on one of the links there. Several you'll find and easily see there to get in here, so you can look at the lineups and what's going on here. I'm working on a few various things. One of them is putting together an ebook, so we can kind of sum up all these different detailed strategies for you. I noticed myself that there isn't one that's recent that's out there in the market that you can really look at and see. I don't know, what all sources I'm releasing it to, but look out for that sometime in the future. Where in terms of that will stack up against different seasons and so forth. I would hope to get it out by ready for football season and be able to focus on that. So we'll look at having that out, and this lineup here was pretty interesting. It wasn't my morning lineup; it was my night lineup. I left it in there, and it did well because what it did was also create for me some really nice tournament. So this includes this lineup here on the left. Going back to it one last time, the $10 included about 3 head-to-head matchups, a 50-50, $2. Other than that, there was a single entry dollar that I usually do, and there's some mass multi entry. So this lineup worked in large GPPs, finished in the top few thousand or so. When you see some of those, they go anywhere from the 10-cent, 25-cent up to the dollar range. So you can certainly use this. Feel free to, if your bankroll management allows it. If you decide to use that much money, by all means, these strategies I've used here so far and talked about and teached are reliable in that way. My winning percentage in cash, that includes 50-50s, head-to-heads, triple ups, has been 67%. So feel free to use that, and as they're given out inside the WFF Discord channel. So just want to make sure you know and be reassured that you can certainly do that. You can upscale your funds here, as you see here. I'm not dealing with a lot of money, just choosing not to do so in the a little bit more volatile KBO as opposed to Major League Baseball or something like that. So, I can scale this up a little bit more, but decide to keep it small for the purpose of, like I said, volatility. But it is working at 67% clip, so it's very good as you can use that. So looking forward on to the next slate. As I mentioned here, Wuchan Cha, LG, David Buchanan did not start last night. Looking to start today. Ki Young M. We're going to have a lot more volatile pitchers, but we have some high strikeout upside pitchers, such as Despain, for example. We can look to in possibly Seong Wan Moon or the SK Wyverns. We're looking at these guys to get some value, of course, and we're going to give them a strikeout prop, my own personal strikeout prop, as I did last night, so you can kind of figure out, if you want to, or if you're scoring at home, how much to score in for the innings pitched. That's 2.225 for every inning pitched, and then for every strikeout times 2, which adds up your score there on DraftKings. So it's always good to know that, of course. And what I've also been doing, of course, as well is when you look at, for example, let's look at something here for you or with you. It gives you a nice edge. I want to personally show you. Just copy and pasting this guy's name. Put it in here. We just have other providers or anything going on. It's all free. So you can look at these stats here and check out what's going on with Despain, or what was going on with him in previous seasons. Useful, especially in a sport like baseball, Major League. So you can look at how you want to approach, gauging out the effectiveness of a player per their stats, the past history, of course. Oh, here he is. So we just got to click in signage so we can look at the right one. You can also look over here while that's going on. So I'm sure I've shown before. I have. So all the information is always available. So now as it's pulling up, we have Adra Samir Despain, 33-year-old righty, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Just interesting things to note. Looking on down here. Now, if you're going to, let's say, attack him, as it would be probably in a lower owned attack stack against scenario, I want to make sure who he's playing here, who he's playing against. We can pull that up here as well. Or we can just look over here on DraftKings, see who his opponent is. It's going to be the Sam Lions. So let's say we stacked the Sam Lions at home. It's pretty doable because Sam's a good place to play when it comes to their ballpark. It's hitter friendly, home run friendly, so you can certainly look at doing that as a stack here for tonight for your tournaments. And as this just pulls up here, should be about there by now, but clicking away, of course, doesn't get you where you want to go fast enough. So maybe we can come back to that, it appears. Recording slow it down, unfortunately. See what we can still get you rolling on here, and not hold you up for anything. That wasn't where I wanted to go. We have also cash hitters updated it on the same what against football. So I just needed this to come up right now, and it won't. So, but what you'll see when you look at the splits, maybe it's all that tab. Look at the splits, you can see what he's done in previous years versus lefties versus righties. It's just interesting to note there. Looking at the WOBA, so you can see overall, you know, you can look at the slugging percentage with their opponents and kind of see who to stack against. And also helps when you go back over to that my KBO Stats site and it'll look at specifically showing you the matchup with that team. What that means is when that team rolls out that bullpen, and including the starting pitchers, but how that team has already done versus that same team. So, unlike Major League Baseball, we've only got 10 teams playing each other. There's only 10 teams going on. There's not a whole lot of teams. So, when these teams play, there is more data history versus that team. There's a major difference. So, you can see that once again, when these team pitchers, the starters and the relievers before, we know what these guys can do. You can see their batting average and on base percentage section in there, and I'll pull it up for you here in a moment as well. So you can also get matchup based data. Here we see now. We have to make one more click and let it load one more time for Despain's stats. Despain, by the way, is at 7.3 Ks per nine for the season. So not outstanding, but not bad. So I'm hoping that'll load here in a second. Nope. Yeah, is that correct? Yes. Today's games, that's it. That's it. And now it went away. Just about to click on it. There it is. Okay. Click on right here where the time is, 1 a.m. Once you click there, I'll show you what I mean. Let's go. This is ready. Okay, here it is. So if we want let's just say, for example, we want to stack against Despain. We take the Lions. This is what they've done against KT Wiz. KT Wiz is not a great team, but we can see here, for example, it's a small sample size, but it's fine to work with because, like I said, I wouldn't do this in Major League Baseball or worry about it necessarily that much at all. But versus this team, for example, a couple guys here at the top had 12 at bats, kind of the majority of bats versus this team for some reason. 4 hits for over 300 and over of each on base and average. So not great results. This guy down here, 2 hits out of 5 at bats. Park Seong Jiu, decent. So obviously, I'll definitely find much better matchups than this. So Samsung may not be the great way to go. As the other side possibly to attack Buchanan, we'll look at this team here, what they've done against the bullpen. If they get him out early, these guys here, Beijong Day, Simon Jean, Kang Bayako, and Hayak and Rojas, they've all done pretty well. Rojas I love, but he hasn't done so well against this team bullpen. Probably going to get better versus them seeing him before as the best hitter on the team. But as we can see, the other teams here on base percentage well over 450. For these 4 guys, stick them in your lineup. Do a 5-man stack. What I'll probably do versus Buchanan, so we can get these guys rolling in a nice GPP. So sometimes, you don't expect to be able to stack against the guy that you want. Maybe take the other side. It's fine. So we're not necessarily worried about this now. stacking against Despain and these stats here. So we're not going to really apply them to the slate here. But if we did that with Buchanan, search for him and see, if there's enough data, maybe he's got several innings versus lefties versus righties. I know it's also a small sample size possibly when it comes to this, but when you combine that with this data here, already seeing that that particular pitcher, these batters in a team stack against, you want to use it. So that's pretty much it. As far as I'll talk about, show you here for today. Look for these projections to update. These ones for tonight update over here. Numbered out for you, and then in the morning, especially really the night before, I'll get a couple lineups out there. Make sure you have something to stick in there. It's very helpful when situations happen like that with the rain. When you got around 20-25% chance of rain in a couple games like we had early this morning. To have those stacks in there and pitchers already set, and hopefully you can switch out. Not using pitchers in those rainy games, and hopefully avoiding that. But at least you have some lineups from the night before. You're not scrambling around in the morning, try to make fresh stacks. I know that has happened to me at times, but I try to avoid it as much as possible. And then since a lot of all the data is research, with the teams that I want to play, teams I want to stack, and maybe 3 or 4 teams, I can just look right back to that research. Some of it I place on here, but I have it all set up to where I put some lineups out there, and you can just use those if you like. Also have a full list because I only give you 3 guys on this site. WealthyFantasyFootball.com, KBO area. Just going to give you really 3 cash guys stacked that I'm going to give out here. The rest of them, full list of them, we're looking at about 12, 13, 14 cash guys, depending on how many are really good for the slate. I'll put them out there. It'll include about 3 or 4 teams usually, and then you can use and insert those guys into cash lineup. So let's say if a guy's not starting, take him out, insert another guy, so you can pretty much be good to go for that early morning. So I'll leave you there with that, and hope you have a successful slate in KBO.